Blessed Monday legends, you are now locked into episode 25 of The Black Sheep with your host, Jordan. Our podcast just hit a new era with some amazing talent and guest speakers to hit our platform. Today's message is to lift yourself up no matter who counts you out. The past is not you. The gift has always been you. Time to unravel your guys' present. I'd like to welcome our special guest speaker to our platform. She's an entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and a self-taught mentor who helps, guides, and support women through their self-love journey. Based all the way out in Washington, D.C. Welcome to the Black Sheep Podcast, Nettie.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited and so grateful to be here.
I love that. Thank you for joining us. For starters, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, your starting story. We'd love to learn about you.
Okay, let's see. Where do we start? I am from Argentina. That's a cool fun fact. I love dancing. I take salsa classes, and I've been dancing since I was 5 years old. And I've been here for 20 plus years. When I came here, I spoke no English. So I actually have a podcast as well. And one of my, how can I say this? One of my biggest leaps that I've taken were launching my podcast, because I'm from a different country and I have an accent. So, but yeah, I love what I do. So.
Well, good to know. That actually leads me into my next question. With the language barrier that you had to face moving from Argentina, as well as having your podcast and a newer route for you, obviously you had to go through levels and obstacles. Can you tell us what you had to go through to help turn that vision that you had in your mind into a reality and actually live that dream of yours?
Yes, my story is long, so we're just gonna keep it to what's the main point here, which is my transformation. And that happened in, I want to say, the beginning of the pandemic, so 2020. I had a dog walking business, and due to the pandemic, I had to shut business down. So I was home. The entire time that I was home, I had a lot of free time on my hands. So I used all of that time to invest in myself. So I really went in deep and went through everything that I had to overcome when I was from my younger years, which I want to say this, I had a wonderful childhood, lovely childhood. The hard thing was coming here because I had a whole dance thing back home. And that was a little, I don't know if I would call it traumatic, but something that had a big impact on me, like leaving my group of friends that I've been dancing with for 12 years together. So, but again, 2020, and I had a lot of time on my hands. So yes, it was working through all of that, really diving deep into myself. Really, I felt like sort of trapped in a life that I was not happy with, and being able to acknowledge all of that, sort of face it face to face, and go through it and journal it out and work it out, and in through somatic practices like yoga and dancing, which I love dancing. And cool fact about dancing, when you are dancing, you are moving energy that you have stuck in your body. So it's a really cool thing. I was dancing before we got on the podcast, because before the podcast I was doing lawn and I was doing chores, right? So before I transferred from doing one thing to another thing, I did a little dancing in between, because I was moving my energy, setting my new mood and vibe for the podcast timing. So I was setting my intention to be here present with you guys. So yes, that's one of the reasons why I also love dancing, because dancing always boosts your mood. So that is why it's a somatic practice. But I will wake up and dance, or just put music on and dance. I will clean and dance. I started journaling a lot. I don't have them here. I think I've put them away, but I've had a gratitude journal, an affirmation journal, and intentions journal. And every day I will write. And I did this for an entire year. Literally. Maybe not even a year, 8 months. When I decided to completely app level, not even app level is not the right word. Changed my life. Absolutely, completely changed my life. I had been married for 14 years, 12 years, and it was a 15-year relationship. And I just packed my bags, packed my kids, and I left. I left with family, and from there then on, I rebuilt my life completely. So since 2020, I have been in this journey because I believe that the self-love journey is never ending, because as we learn new things about ourselves and we learn to accept those things and we start embodying those things, we start doing like cooler things, like being a guest on a special podcast episode and then like having your own podcast episode. So really taking that year, those 9 months, to get to know myself, understand myself, accept all parts of myself, and really understanding that the power that I thought that I needed from the outside, from other people, from other things, actually had it in me the entire time. It was all about relighting that fire and just like taking off. So that's what drove me to do what I do today, because I have been in a place once in my lifetime where I felt powerless. I felt like I had no way out. I felt stuck. I felt small. I felt like I was in a box. I felt like I was not happy. I was not happy. I did not feel fulfilled and did not feel comfortable. And the thing is that as I grew the awareness of what my environment was and what was really going on around me and the life that I was living and the lifestyle that I was having at that time, I understood that I found peace within in the middle of chaos. And the best way I explain to people is, imagine you're sitting in downtown Manhattan and there's like all this traffic. You know, New York is crazy, lights, people, dancing, music, alarms going off, and you're just sitting in the middle of the street, just there sitting down, and you're like in complete quietness and you just are completely fine. That's what I learned to do. I found that inner peace within myself. And from there, I said it like little by little, saying, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. And I walked away from people, from habits, from a lifestyle, from things that were not serving me, were not making me feel good, were not supporting my growth and supporting the life that I wanted to have. Like, we're here to have, we only have one life. We're here to live. Why not live the best life if this is the life that we have? So why stay in a box that other people put you in? People, society, the media, everybody. Why stay in that box and not go out there and live your life and be yourself? And the reason why a lot of us don't do it is because we don't have the confidence. We don't have the confidence because we don't love ourselves enough to feel that inner power, feel that inner fire, and say, this is the life that I want, and I'm gonna go after it. Baby steps, day by day, whatever it takes, I'm gonna do it. But I'm not happy or complacent where I'm at right now. Knowing that you want more, because you deserve more. So, but to get to the level where you can stand up tall, say that about yourself, say that you accept yourself, that you forgive yourself for your own mistakes, that you love yourself, that gives you a power, like a confidence, that you trust yourself enough to step into things that have never been done before and that you've never done before. So when you step into that power, it's just, you're living your life. That's when you start living your life, because it is not about other people. It's not about what others want. It's not about anything. It's about what you want. What do you want to do with this life that you have? You have the power. So what are you going to do with it? Once you have the awareness, it all becomes a choice. Are you going to use it? How are you going to use it? You're just going to because to use that power, you also have to put in the work, right? Because we live in a 3D world. Manifestation happens through taking action as well. So what are you going to do with that awareness and the power that you have?
I love that. Amen. I mean, honestly, like, you touched on a lot of great key factors here. And for one of the things I do want to mention first is that the thing that people have to understand is God, whoever that you believe in, if it's God, if it's Allah, if it's whatever spirituality that you guys have, you were all put on this earth for a reason. Every single one of us have a talent, a gift, a blessing, and even a curse that we all have, that we were shown and put on this earth to show the world and show who we are. The biggest fact that I started to say is that, and a lot of the Black Sheep followers know this about us, is that since COVID, too many masks of too many individuals got put on. They're scared to go out there, face their dreams, face their realities. They're scared to jump. Think about it. Before COVID, there was never a thought, never a fear of, I'm going to go out and try something. It was, I'm going to do it. And then COVID happened. I'm scared to go out there. I'm scared to try this. I'm scared to fail. I'm scared to do this. So they didn't have a backbone. The thing is that, and the Black Sheep, you guys know I say this a lot. When it's scary, you got to jump. Never be scared to jump. Never be scared to fail. Only be scared of not trying. You don't want to be 70, 80 years old, 60 years old, 90 years old saying, damn, I never tried that in my life. I never went out there and actually did this, or actually tried to accomplish something. For instance, for all my viewers and my listeners, I always tell you guys a little bit about my life. I actually, back in the day when I was a child, wanted to start a childhood band with my cousins and all that fun stuff. I think I briefly taught on this, but I'm actually getting back into that this year with writing music, going to be going in the studio, going to be trying to get my music out there, at least just one song, because it's a childhood dream of mine that I want to live. The thing is you only, and Natty said it, you have one life, you have one opportunity. It's for all my people that listen to Eminem, the song that he has, I think it was Live for the Moment, or no, sorry, 8 Mile. You only have one shot, one opportunity. You're gonna have to take it. You never are gonna relive yesterday. Think about it. There's never been a person, unless you can time travel, can go back. Please, I would love that, because there's some past that I want to go back and fix, and even just see some people. But still, you have to understand that you cannot relive yesterday. You cannot relive the past. You can only fix tomorrow and fix the next aspect. All
we have is right now.
100%.
All we have is now. All we have is now. Tomorrow does not exist. Can you go back to tomorrow? No. Can you go forward to wait? Can you go forward to tomorrow? No. Can you go backwards to yesterday? No. All we have is right now. Even when tomorrow comes, it's still right now. So all you have is this right now moment.
You only have.
What are you going to do right now to make that tomorrow, when tomorrow comes, be better than right now?
1,000%. I said this on my last episode, and this will be what I sort of not really lead into my next question, but on an average typical basis, an average person sleeps about 8 hours a day. That leaves you with 16 hours left of the day. You work for 10 of those hours. You still have 6 hours to go out there and face your realities, face your dreams, and even correct and benefit yourself, and to change daily habits, break daily routines, whatever the case is. Even just work on your dream. It doesn't have to be a business, guys. I've said that before. It can be anything from music to writing to drawing to podcasting, whatever it is. Reach out to the Black Sheep. We're here to help. We're here to get that reality of yours, or that dream of yours, to a reality. With us, we will have the most underdogs to turn legends, which leads me sort of into my next question. And you did touch on this, but what's your definition and your ideal perfect definition that you tell people that are suffering with this aspect? How can people benefit them in their self-love routine, their self-love journey? How can they change that negative habits that they have and turn those negative habits into a beautiful life opportunity?
I will say that is finding that good feeling thought. Because This is what happens. Let's go into a little bit of science here. When you hold a good thought, when you find anything right now that you can think about and that gives you that blissful feeling, like that loving, that good, it just feels good and you feel energized, and you just find that thought and milk it for 17 seconds. Just like feel it and embody it and feel it and close your eyes and visualize it and see it and embody that feeling for 17 seconds. Once you have it for 17 seconds, another thought similar to it is going to match it. It's going to attract that other thought. And that creates sort of like a wave. So the longer you hold that good thought, then it builds another one and another one and another one, you feel good. And when you feel good, you want to do things for yourself. You want to do things that make you feel even better. So when you find a little good feeling, you're like, okay, now you feel like washing your face, and now you feel like going out for a drink, and now you feel like taking this class, and now you feel like writing a book. And then when you feel good, that's when you're able to look around and have the inspiration. Because when you're not feeling good, it's not only mentally that you're not feeling good. You don't feel good mentally and emotionally and physically. All thoughts manifest. So when you're having like negative, ugly, bad thoughts, you feel sad, depressed. It's like the wave of emotion is long, right? And what do? You're sleeping, so you're overtired, and you're not sleeping. You're tired. You have insomnia. You're awake. So you see how it gets worse. It affects every area, right? When you're having a good thought, again, you milk that thought and you feel good, and now you want to wash your face, so you're staying clean and you stay inspired and you're doing stuff. And this is something that it's very important for people to understand. Love is not anywhere else. So people keep looking for loving all of the wrong places, in other people, in things, in cities, in material things, in everything. Why? But why do they look for love in other places? Because they want to feel that warmth, that love sensation, right? They want to feel that good feeling, ecstasy feeling.
Amen.
That's what they're looking for.
100%.
Not realizing that they can have that themselves. All they need is just think about anything that feels good, milk it, feel that bliss, feel the ecstasy, love feeling, and you're right there. Nobody else can give you that feeling except yourself. Why? Because everybody else that you're looking at for that feeling doesn't love you unconditionally. Everybody loves you, and everything loves you with condition. You're not unconditioned to anybody else except yourself.
Amen. I love that.
Yes.
No, I mean that's amazing. You can't, the thing is that you can't fix a broken person if you're broken yourself. You have to start with the person in the mirror. And I mean, think about it. People dress up and doll themselves up because they want to feel good. They want to inspire. They want to dress good. They want to feel good. Like Natty said, that thought that you guys have, even if it is in the past, that happiness thought that you guys experienced, that moment that you got to live, that current, past, future situation that you want to enjoy that. Law of attraction is big. You guys, like legends, you guys have to understand that the law of attraction works in so many ways that we all don't even know. Your thoughts are your biggest enemy. That saying that you all used to hear as a kid, watch what you say, your words will hurt you one day. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that we all have to understand now. And so I'm glad that that's something that you can honestly show people and help them with achieving that better life, that self-love that they want to enjoy. And I will make sure I drop this link to this episode as well as Natty's podcast. Make sure you guys follow her. I know this is a little off topic, but she is somebody that not only women want to listen to, but I listened to an episode of hers. Fantastic. It's something that honestly, the brand of self-love, motivation, mindset brands, with the Black Sheep, with her brand, with a lot of other influencers that we are going to have on our podcast. These brands are here to help you guys. Remember, I said this before and I'll say it again. We can only lead you to water. We can't make you drink it. But we are going to help you change that mindset that you have to be the best version of you that you can. Underdogs to Legends, it's right behind me. Remember, your biggest strength and your biggest flaw comes within you. Nobody else can dictate that minus you. Think about it. You don't like something, who's going to tell you don't like it? You're going to tell yourself you don't like it. Not your neighbor, not your brother, not your sister. Unless you're born into it, that's a different story. But you don't know unless you tell yourself that. So to go back to another question of mine that I would love the viewers to know, I know you said 2020 you were doing dog walking and you're doing podcasting now and with the self-love aspect, but what is it that you are currently doing that is, and has that always been a vision of yours, or is that something more recent that within the last year, 2 years, you started really developing in?
You're talking about the podcast developing in the last 2 years?
Just what you're currently doing, and is that something that's always been a vision?
So I've always known since I was very young that, my straw, that I was here for a purpose. I looked at people living life going to school, getting a job, having a family, then retiring. I was like, that can't be life. It has to be this. This got to be something bigger than this. That's how I grew up with that mindset, because I just know I was going to do something big. I knew it. I've had that feeling my entire life. And what I'm doing now was never. It's sort of like a download that came to me one day, almost a year and a half ago now. And it took off. Something in me, because of what I went through, what I experienced, and what I worked through the entire year of 2020, this was born from that, from knowing that my story, what I went through, my journey can help somebody out there, can save their lives, change their lives. And me not sharing that with them, me not putting that out there, is a disservice to other women just like me, who at some point in their life felt stuck, felt powerless, felt unworthy, felt like they were small and they were put in boxes and they could not speak their truth and truly be themselves. And I said, no, I can't. If I have this, if I know this, I have this power. I tapped into my power. I need to help other women to do the same, because I don't want nobody to ever feel how I felt or to ever have to be in that life. No. So I said this, and I have 2 daughters, and women. I have sisters. I have a mom. I have a niece. I'm surrounded by women. Come on, women are incredible. So I'm like, I cannot keep this to myself and not share it with every other woman out there.
I love that. That's a blessing as itself. I mean, like I said, guys, I'm going to make sure I drop her podcast so you guys can follow it. With her podcast, with her brand, with the Black Sheep, our visions and the people that have been through these stories are, in a sense, Black Sheep. Like, they feel like the outcast. They feel like the underdogs. They feel like somebody that hasn't felt and I used to deal with this many, many times in the past. And I know all my listeners have heard this about me, and Natty has said that she's experienced it too. We all go through a journey in life and some longer than others, some shorter than others. But we all go through a journey where we feel like we don't have that support staff. We feel like the underdog. We feel like the Black Sheep. I am the Black Sheep of my family. You guys know that of me, the friends and family. That's who I am. With the women and with men and with just anybody in general, guys, you have to understand that the slogan behind me, underdog to legend, that's a real thing. That's not a small thing that's said. Every underdog turns legend. Think about it. Kobe Bryant wasn't Kobe before basketball. Michael Jordan was like, he did not become Michael Jordan. Like, he was an underdog. Same thing with Kobe. Same thing with Bill Gates, Walt Disney. Like, there's so many people that turn legends. So I really love that you really help people drive into their passion, their full ability. You know, like I said, I'm going to drop her link so you guys can stay tuned for that. Now, in your eyes, in your opinion, why is being consistent and dedicated so important in life?
Because if you don't have consistency, you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it for you. You want something, then you have to do it. It doesn't matter how fast you go. Just take the action. Just do it. Half the time we spend more time thinking about taking the action and debating why we should and what we shouldn't. If we would have just gotten up and moved, we would have been doing it already. But we get in our heads, and you know, we have fear. And this is something that people need to understand when it comes to being consistency and showing up and taking action. Fear, that self-doubt. Okay, let me go back to what's behind you, underdog to legend. The underdog and the legends both everyday fight self-doubt, fear, and stepping into the uncomfortable. That feeling does not go away. As a matter of fact, I think that the bigger leaps you take, sometimes the bigger the fear and the self-doubt and the uncomfortability can feel, because you're stepping into bigger things, right? One thing is you starting on Instagram and start doing things on Instagram. Okay, next thing you know, and it's like, oh, you are hosting Zoom calls or lives. Next thing you know, you are launching a podcast. Like, the bigger steps you take, because it feels bigger, you are like, the fear is like larger in some way, right? So what you need to understand is that the fear and the self-doubt and that stepping into the uncomfortable feeling is not going to go away. It's going to happen every time. But what do you do when that happens? You look back, you look for evidence, you look back at what things you've done. You're like, okay, I've done this, and you're going to remember when you have felt like really afraid when you were going to do something. So that's like evidence for you. Like, I was really scared to launch my podcast, but I've done it. So now on my next goal, that seems so like minus. So now I have that confidence to say, I'm taking action, and that's what's going to build your consistency. But if you let that fear and the self-doubt and the uncomfortability get to you, you're not going to take the action. You won't be able to be consistent. And it's important to be consistent, because, again, if you don't make it happen, nobody else is going to make it happen for you. You have to show up for yourself. You have to show up for your dreams and for your desires, for your values, for your beliefs. You want something, you believe you can do something, you desire something, then go for it. Show up for it, however it takes. If your goal is to lose weight, then show up in the kitchen eating healthy. Show up at the gym working out. Show up on the trail walking or running. You want to launch a business? Show up every day for 1 hour and start the business plan. You want to write a book? Spend 20 minutes every day writing, 20 minutes every day reading. You have to take the action little by little. That's how you'll stay consistency.
I love that.
Consistent.
That's amazing. And honestly, like, what you said actually leads me so much into my next question. It's funny that you said a lot of that. You know, you have to believe in yourself so much. Like, nobody else can pull the trigger minus you. Nobody else can do something minus you. You know, think about it. For all my athletes out there, and I've said this before, and this leads me to my next point. Steph Curry. Everybody knows who Steph Curry is. Probably one of the most greatest three-point shooters that's currently in the NBA. And I say current because there's been better than him. And I know I'm going to get some backlash on that, but Michael Jordan's the GOAT, forever will be. But Steph Curry is a great player. He's amazing. He shows up every day. He busts his butt. He believes in himself no matter what. He knows he's an MVP. He knows he's a great player. But just like he wants to win the championships. But think about it. he can't win a championships unless he has a team backing him up.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot go to a championship solo. So what, in your eyes, in your opinion, what does it mean to work together with another organization, a partnership, a writer, whatever it is, to achieve that same long-term goal that you want to achieve?
I think it's necessary. We as humans are wired for connection. That's why no matter how much we try to isolate ourselves, at some point we look for that connection because we need it. We are hungry for it. We're born wired that way. So the reason why is because when you have two people that are after the same thing, that have the same desire, and they can do it together, support each other through the process, it'll make the entire journey, the process so much fun. They can learn together, they can grow together, they can support each other. And something that I think it's so, so important, they can help you see things and see yourself and maybe whether you can't see yourself. And they can really provide let's start with the fact that they can provide a network for you, right? Because once you start knowing people, know people, that know people, that know people, this is like, I don't know if you haven't talked on here yet how we met, because Jordan and I met through a network hub that we're both in. That is amazing. And it's a whole bunch of entrepreneurs.
Shout out to Plug Hub Network.
Yes. Plug Hub. Yes. As a matter of fact, everybody on here should be a Plug Hub Plus member.
Make sure you guys connect with them as well. But no, I love that. That's amazing. You know, like Natty said, her and I just met maybe 4 weeks ago. Like we just got connected recently from a mutual friend, mutual group. Like, you think about it. All of us know people that know people, like, realistically. You want to get into real estate, I guarantee you know somebody that does real estate. You want to do music, you know somebody that does music. If not, the Black Sheep has many, many resources. I know a lot of our listeners are based in the Chicago area, but we do have listeners all over the world. You know, we have also connections all over the world. Natty is from Washington, D.C. Plug Hub Network's based in Dallas, Texas. We got people in California. She's got people. Like, we all got connections to help you live that full legend that you have to inspire to be. Think about it. That's like not saying that you cannot make it to the top solo. Never said that, never will say that, because your biggest strengths is something that nobody else will ever take away from you. And you I underestimate myself more than I should. Like, it's just the human thing that we all go through. But collaboration over competition. Every day, any day. Natty has a podcast. I have a podcast. That's how we got connected. Minus the fact that we are a mutual friend of somebody, we have that mutual connection of the podcast world, the event aspect. Like, you have to figure out ways to bring that vision of yours to light. Now, what piece of advice would you give our viewers and our listeners that fully has not released that legend within them to go out there and to live that better life, to fully release that legend out?
Okay, I will say 2 things. Number 1, go do everything that at some point someone told you when you were a kid that you could not have, that you could not do, that you could not be, that they could not afford. Go do it. If as a kid you wanted to take dancing lessons, you wanted to play soccer, you wanted to play guitar, you want to go to the specific amusement park, if you wanted to go to that beach, if you wanted to eat this candy, or whatever it was that you wanted, go do it. Why? Because when you do that, you're going to give something to your inner child self that could not have, that you might have been shamed for, or you might have been embarrassed for, or you might have been shut down for, that is blocking you now from truly seeing yourself, accepting yourself, loving yourself, taking the action, feeling good, and living your best life. And number 2, wait, I think I might have blocked that a little bit. We might have to need to cut this part out. I really lost it.
I'll come back to you. It's okay.
Can you ask me the question again?
What advice would you give somebody that's listening that's not fully released that legend within them to go out there and live that better life of theirs?
Okay, I remember. Part 2. Get to know yourself. Get to know yourself. Because when you get to know, really identifying who you are, that is where your values are born. That is where your beliefs are born from. And that is what's going to make you live that life. Until you really get down to identifying who you are, what you like, your belief, your values, especially what beliefs you hold for yourself and for other people and for other things. Once you go through that process, you're like, okay, like you have that identity, that self identity made form, you are going to do the things. You're going to live that life. But if not, and I talked about this in my live last week, you're going to keep bouncing from career to career, from business venture to business venture, from partner to partner, from things that you want to do, because you are not feeling like authentic doing it. You're not feeling like yourself. You're not feeling grounded because you really don't know what you like and you don't like. So
That's
yes,
amazing.
get to know yourself. Yes.
That's a blessing. Definitely goes back to our biggest key factor here from one of our most recent questions, and just in general, self-love, self-belief. The gift has always been you guys. Find out who you are, find out what that gift is, and experience that gift. Like my biggest thing in summertime, like Chicago people, you guys know how the weather has been, but once the weather is actually like consistent and beautiful, and even if you're a winter baby, I'm just a summer baby, so I love being outside. Go sit in nature, sit on the grass, go sit by the pond, go sit by the beach, whatever it is, and think. Like, if you drink, have a drink while you're sitting. If you smoke while you're doing. But just take nature in and breathe and understand that the gift is you. I promise you guys. Like, I would never sugarcoat any of you legends, because us Black Sheep and what you guys are is why the Black Sheep exists. Yes, I am the Black Sheep, but you guys are the family that makes us. The thing is that never underestimate yourself. You're the blessing, the gift is you, and the blessing has always been you. Now, my next and my final question is, what is something that you would like all of the Black Sheep followers, listeners to know what's coming next for your brand, for you, and for, I guess, for 2023? What should they expect from Miss Natty?
Okay, let's see. I am really working on a membership. I'm building a community of women who come from all walks of life, moms, CEOs, career women, business owners, and they do life together, pretty much. We hop on calls. We work through different stuff like confidence, limiting belief, body image, mindset. Anything. We talk about anything, but what we do is we pick a topic, we work through it, we journal through it, we do somatic practices like yoga, visualization, breathing, we do EFT tapping, and we work through whatever we want to work through. And they get homework and we chat throughout the week. But that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm building. I'm nurturing my community of women. That's what I'm doing, because again, like that connection, right? I think that when you're doing something by yourself, sure, you can do it. But when you do it with other people who have the same goal, who you resonate with and who you are in alignment with, oh my God, life gets so much fucking juicy. Yes, life is amazing. And the way you are supported and just the abundance is amazing. It's just like the networking and the getting to know people. And when you know people that know people, you have amazing experiences because you get invited to things. Like imagine living your best life by yourself, then imagine living your best life with like 40, 20, 10 other people that live their best life too. 20 people living their best life together. That's amazing. That's orgasmic. Like, people celebrate together and they go to events together. Like, it's
a blessing. Your
a
network is
blessing.
your net worth. Remember that,
Yes.
guys. Your network is your net worth. Who you know is everything, and what you know is everything. Never, guys, you have to learn every day. So I love that you said that. Like, you have to find your people, find your tribe, find your organization, find your family. Guys, no matter what tribe, partnership, whatever you guys want to do, I said this before and I'll say it again, you always got a family with the Black Sheep. What we can offer you guys is not only just that motivation, but we can access you to that. We have many access and many connections for you guys. If it's music, we got people. If it's artistry, we got that. If it's, if you want to get into business, entrepreneurship, we also have connections for that. No matter what it is, do not hesitate to reach out to myself and or Natty. I would love to thank you so much for taking the time to join the Black Sheep podcast. The Instagram link for this episode will be dropped tomorrow. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that episode that we will be dropping, as well as her Instagram platform. So you guys can follow that. And I did not mention this before, but I do want to give a huge congratulations, round of applause to her, because she did just hit a 1-year anniversary for her podcast. So I will make sure that we drop that link so you guys can go ahead and follow that. Make sure you guys tune in to her and the Black Sheep. Another big last update that I would like to go ahead and share with you guys. We are currently running an amazing giveaway on our Instagram platform. It's at the Black Sheep Official _. We are selecting 2 winners. Now, those 2 winners are going to have the choice of a free vendor table at our next event and or a item from our unreleased clothing line that we will be dropping soon. But make sure you guys follow our Instagram. Rules are super simple. Just show the love, pop on our page. Make sure you guys stay driven this week. It is only Monday, the second day of the week, but stay driven, stay focused, and stay locked into that long-term plan, long-term legacy. And no matter what, live that best life and go out there and make the fucking world understand who you are. I promise you 2023 will be that year that your haters, even though haters make you grow, they will know your name. And they have no other way but to know your name, because the legend, the king, the queen, the person that you are is going to shine this year. Thank you again, Miss Natty. Have a wonderful day, fam, and make sure you guys show the love.